So I have my setup, I have my dog, I have my easel, and this is a relatively cheap easel. You don't need to get something really expensive. And the other thing you can use, which I will demonstrate, is a chair if you have to, like the one I'm sitting in would be okay to prop up the canvas on. The canvas I'm going to be using is just a canvas panel, and this is Blick Premier Belgian linen. You don't need that. That's way too fancy. I would have never bought this. I think a student bought it and traded it because they didn't have a canvas one day, and so they had to replace the one I gave them, and they replaced it with something way better than what I gave them. Okay, so this is a canvas panel, and you can see it's got the surface that you can paint on, and Blick, that's fine. Okay, this is a gessoed canvas on top of a cardboard support. Okay, and that's going to go on the easel. Right now, I've got my easel set up for drawing because I'm going to be doing some thumbnail sketches, and I'll do a value rendering of the setup before I do the actual painting. Okay. So the paint I'm going to use is I'm only going to need one tube of paint, and that's going to be raw umber. So it's going to, if you have burnt umber, that's okay. If you have burnt sienna, that's okay as well. And then I'm not going to need a lot of brushes, but I do think it's good to have at least 2 sable rounds. Okay, so these are 6 sable rounds. Actually, I'm going to get a different one than this because this one's kind of used. 2 6 sable rounds. And you'll see why when I'm doing the demo. You're going to need to have a soft, flat brush to blend. And so this is a 6 bristle round, and the initial painting will be done with this. And I've got a couple palette knives. So these are metal palette knives. You don't need to have anything really fancy, but you want to have, I like to have 2 because it's easier to mix with, even though you're not going to be doing any mixing with this. It's just a good thing to have 2 of them. You don't want to buy plastic ones. Plastic ones are for acrylic. This is my jar of solvent. I don't need the jar of solvent until I'm ready to clean my brushes. This is my painting medium, like we mixed up in the materials demo, okay? And then this is the palette cup. And you want the palette cup like this exact dimension, because it's easier to keep things, to keep your materials clean and keep your medium clean. Then you won't have to throw it away when you're done. Because right now, throwing away solvents is really not convenient, okay? Because you have to take it to a recycle, a place that recycles toxic materials, and a lot of those are closed during the pandemic. So there you go. I also have a rag. So this is just t-shirt material, and this is getting pretty used up at this point. But you want the rag you use, you want it to be something like this, soft cotton that isn't gonna have anything that's gonna come off because you might need to wipe your canvas with it. And then I also have paper towels for just general cleanup. And then this object right here, this table I'm sitting on, if you got a table that's about this height, that would be good, okay? Now, I'm sitting right now, but when I'm working, I'm gonna be standing. And so that's gonna be important, because when you do your drawing, for example, you have to have the same eye level that you've got when you're going to be painting. So you can't be changing your eye level as you're working. And so that's something that students don't intuitively know. They'll do all kinds of crazy things as far as that goes. So you hold the canvas on their lap and paint on that. There are things that you just don't want to do. Okay. All right. So what if you don't have this? What if you don't have the easel? Then you're going to do this. So you could prop the canvas up on the chair. If you have to, you can put a box underneath it so that it's the right height, and then you can get another chair to sit on while you're painting. And this is not ideal, obviously, but not everybody's going to be able to buy an easel. All right, so that's our stuff, and we'll be able to make our painting now.